If there's ever been a time to give Diablo 4 another chance, Season 4 on May 14th is it. Here's why. Number 1, Helltide Reborn. The updates to Helltide alone makes it worthwhile to reinstall Diablo 4. I mean, there's so much more going on in there now. The density is insane, monsters are just thrown at you, there's this new boss that drops amazing loot, and a wanted system where this bar fills up at the top as you kill more demons, and when it's full, a dark shadow clone spawn. All of this is going on simultaneously, and since Helltide is open world, there's other players everywhere, especially at season launch. It's gonna be a blast. Number 2, it's now like 10 times faster to level 100 than it was at launch. Getting to max level has gone from taking, I don't know, like 50 hours plus of gameplay down to like 10 hours. This allows you to not just play one character for a month, but you actually get to experience the different classes within the season. The game is way less of a grind now, so if you value your time, this is a big W. And the journey to 100 is not just faster, it's actually fun now too. For example, Helltides is gonna be available from level 1 in World Tier 1 and 2, and you get these brains that if you eat them makes the enemies 10 levels higher, so you can really push your efficiency early on for more loot and experience. Unique items can now drop in World Tier 1 and 2, and it now makes a lot of sense to challenge yourself to go to World Tier 3 way earlier than before, because sacred items only require you to be level 35, down from 45, and same thing with World Tier 4, because ancestral items are now level 55 instead of 60. Basically, you have options as to how you want to level up. If you don't like nightmare dungeons, you don't have to do them. There are other options, like Helltides and now the Pit, and doing Whispers even. Now, getting to level 100 used to be the end of the road in Diablo 4, but there's actually something that resembles an endgame now. And no, it's not just killing Duriel hundreds of times back to back. We've got the Pit. We're talking 200 tiers deep of pushing your build to see how strong you are. You don't worry about loot, you simply test yourself against the timer. We have level 200 tormented bosses, 6 of them, and the first time you kill one of these, you get a resplendent spark that is used to craft Uber Uniques. And same thing with Uber Lilith, who now drops a resplendent spark too, which ties me into my next point. Uber Uniques are accessible by anyone now, and they're not even necessarily best in slot items like they used to be, because of the new crafting system. Plus, they can start dropping from any monster over level 55. I mean, just imagine finding a Shaco casually in World Tier 3. And the 6th reason to play Season 4, out of all the builds in this entire game, Minion Necromancer is expected to be the best build in the game for Season 4. Enough said, I think it's time to log in. Number 7, the new itemization changes everything about how this game feels. I mean, Blizzard is even naming this season Loot Reborn. Gone are the days of going through and reading a million items, and dopamine is back, baby. Just imagine seeing a triple greater affix item drop with those little stars. I mean, I'm gonna scream out loud, and my wife is gonna wonder why I'm never that excited to see her. The core of this game is itemization, and it's been improved so much with the new crafting system of tempering and masterworking, where you can upgrade and add affixes to your items to customize them. And it's fun affixes too, like making your projectiles cast twice, or increasing the size of your AoE effects. Number 8, no more chores. In the past 2 seasons, Diablo 4 has been about doing the same activity over and over in order to farm boss materials. But now, while yes, these bosses still exist, they're way more optional and allow for way more variety of gameplay. For example, boss materials now drop from more sources and other activities other than just that one boss. So just by playing the game however you want, you end up with boss materials. Plus, like I said, we're way less reliant on the uber unique items that drop from Duriel. So now there's no real need to go through that grind anymore. And this overall just makes the game feel less of a list of chores that you don't want to do, and more of an exciting list of options depending on what you feel like doing at that moment. And the quality of life features. You can now speed boost your horse in town. I mean, there's been so much quality of life across the game, from small things like the respec mode in your skill tree and a search bar in most menus, to all towns having all the vendors next to each other, just overall allowing for less frustration and more time slaying demons. And possibly the most impactful quality of life update yet, the new Codex of Power. This is an absolute game changer for Diablo 4. I mean, finally, all of your aspects are now stored permanently in your codex. This also becomes like a collectible minigame where you want to try and find all of the perfect aspects. And more importantly, this means you don't have to fill up your stash anymore with 10 of the same aspects, just in case you might need it one day. Feels good, man. So, in summary, I'm expecting Diablo 4 to be more fun than it's ever been, and if you don't like it, that's okay. I mean, I love broccoli, but if you hate broccoli, that's cool. I love you the same. Everything is not for everyone.